In this video, we're going to be talking about Game Jam. For those of you that don't know, Game Jam is a period of time where JMods are allowed to work on their own personal projects for the actual game. Not all of these things go into the game as actual content, but a lot of them do, and some of the best content in the game actually comes from Game Jam. In this video, I have gathered up some stuff that JMods have been talking about and tweeting about for upcoming Game Jam projects, and some other stuff that may be coming to the game as well. So I figured we would take a look at it together to see what's going on. But we're going to start off with something that could be absolutely huge. But again, before we do take a look, let me clarify that this stuff is not all guaranteed to come into the game. That being said, let's take a look. So as you've seen in the title, there is something regarding clue scrolls here, and I wanted to cover this one first because this one is the most recent update and probably one of the most exciting ones. On screen here is a tweet by Mod Sponge, and it reads, "Wanted to venture into unexplored territory for a bit in this game jam, but what could they be?" And then of course we have this image that says the character's clue carrier, and inside there you see all the original clues, but then we have a green, a gold, like a grey and a white clue scroll as well. For those of you that don't know, the clue carrier carries clue scrolls, but sealed clue scrolls. So this means that is Mod Sponge working on new clue scrolls to come to the game? Now, as someone who doesn't actually do clues, I am even still excited for this, not just because I'm probably not going to engage with it personally, right? But any new content like this for any specific group of the game is absolutely insanely good. We get new bosses, we get new quests, we get new skills, but we very rarely get anything along the lines of this, like clue scrolls and stuff like that is something that hasn't had attention in forever. So this is absolutely huge, and I'm sure plenty of people in the clue community are very excited about this. But again, this isn't guaranteed to ever come into the game, but if it did, this is incredible. But even then, it's just good news to see that clue scrolls are even getting some attention. This could be really interesting for sure. The next thing to talk about is going to be the Rex Matriarch, but for Necromancy. Now, you guys may have already known that this was probably coming at some point in the future, but we actually have an update from Mod Shriek. Is it Shriek or Shrike? I'm so sorry. I do this with all names. I try and avoid them. But either way, taking a look at this tweet, it says, "I'm joining Mod Abe and Mod Camel and Mod Rain to make a quest to go with their Necromancy Rex Matriarch." As with all Game Jam projects, this is a work in progress and not on a release schedule. But if we look at the quoted tweet, it is Mod Camel saying, "Here's what myself and Mod Abe and Mod Fowl and Mod Rain have been working on this Game Jam." And you can see a few images here of the Necromancy Rex Matriarch, which we assume is going to be in the background, right? It's going to be the back of the actual room. But either way, this is exciting. It's another boss. It is a Rex Matriarch, but I mean, who's doing Rex Matriarchs? Let me know in the comments. But either way, this could come out and be one of the most fun bosses. We don't know. It could be scaled again for mid-level. But also, you kind of have to think this is probably going to come with some sort of Necromancy ring upgrade or something along that sort of line. Something that is going to bring a cool, exciting drop to the game either way. So, while we don't have a release time for this, of course, it is still super cool to see that it is coming and it is something to look forward to, and I am very excited for this. Next on our radar comes from Mod Stu, and this one says, "For December's Game Jam, I'm configuring some NPCs with newer models where available. Today updated the Novice Slayer Masters Turul and Spyra and Jacqueline, plus the adult Black Unicorns and Foals." And then of course we've got the usual disclaimer about that it's not greenlit guaranteed or whatever, and it basically may not be guaranteed to come to the game. But taking a look at these, it looks really, really cool. And any sort of graphical update for the game, in my opinion, is 100% a good thing. Like, it definitely can only be a positive to have some graphical improvements for the game for when new players join and they look, and the game just doesn't look so outdated. Obviously, there's some nostalgia to keeping older models and stuff, but for RuneScape 3, I think this is a very important thing. The next one that I found was this one that actually I found on Reddit, but is still a Twitter thing. This says, from Mod Ramen, "Upcoming Game Jam, what should I do?" And then 2 hours later, again, AOD scaling, thoughts? Now, I'm sure that scaling for AOD would be something that people would probably, I would very much like this. I think that could be really cool. To allow people to take on AOD solo, but scaled. Let's not like get confused. People can already solo AOD, but it's like a tiny percentage of players that are insanely good at the game, and I mean, I kind of also like having content like that where players can go ahead and practice that much, and even if it is only a tiny percentage, they get rewarded for it. So maybe you'd leave a different version in, I don't really know, but either way, I do like the idea. We had Solak scaled already to allow for solo mode, and I think that's a great thing. It adds more content to the game for many players, and I think it is really awesome to do this. Personally, I would love to do this, but maybe you could leave in the unscaled version in like an extra tick box, and that way the players that can do that, people that can solo AOD unscaled, maybe they can have like a cool little title or a little cosmetic override, maybe an upgrade to like next wings or something like that, just something cool that maybe they can have for showing that they did that. I think that's kind of cool. They put a lot of time and effort into learning and being that good at the game, so as long as it's cosmetic and untradeable, I think it's pretty cool. But as for scaling content to make it available to more people, I think it's a super cool idea, and I hope that someday this actually comes to the game. So those are the game jam things that I have found so far and I wanted to talk about, but also there's a few other updates that have been posted around Twitter and things that you can expect to see coming into the game or the beta that I wanted to talk about. Looking at the combat beta, ModSponge is trying a few things, looking at changing or reworking the Lengs, which is the drops from the Glacier, along with some other bits as well, apparently. So we see here that there's a few different changes for the special ability here, and some interesting stuff to take a look at. That information will be on screen if you want to pause and have a proper read through. Mod Ryan says a couple of work in progress changes that will go into the next beta. A channel bar for better visual clarity, which you'll be seeing on screen now, which shows that if you're channeling an ability, you have how long you have to be able to do that. It says melee channeled abilities allow movement within attack range of the target, which I think is insanely good. This is super cool. I like it a lot. And channeled abilities can be cast when out of range. So it'll put you in range, I assume, before you cast this. In my opinion, anything that makes like clarity of what's happening in combat like a lot better is obviously going to be a good thing. If it means that a newer player presses a channeled ability and immediately realizes, hey, look, this is a channeled ability and that's how long it's going to last, it is pretty much spot on. We need this. This is freaking epic. And then a final couple of things to take a look at. Mod Black Witch, it says it's time for another update on Relica and shares some before and after screenshots of Relica. And I mean, just as always, it looks insanely good. Like it is epic. This is just, is it ever a miss with Mod Black Witch's art? It's crazy. So hell yes. And then one that I personally really like from Mod Foul says, are you tired of the pop-up information box always blocking the middle of your screen? Well, not for long. Says again, this is a work in progress and release is to be determined or decided, whatever TBD means. And then you can see that you can actually move the info box, which will give you like the exam and stuff, right? This is something that you will notice sometimes block your field of view for certain things. So hell yeah, move this out of the way. There you go. That is everything I have found up until this point. If I find some more cool stuff, I will absolutely share it with you guys. But I wanted to get this out and shared because there's a lot of exciting things in here. If we get new clue scrolls at some point, I think people are going to be very, very happy and impressed. But again, just to clarify, a lot of the stuff with Game Jam may never make it to the game. It is all subject to change, and sadly we may never see whatever is done in the Game Jam in the actual main game. But it's still exciting to watch because a lot of it does come to the game, and a lot of the amazing updates do come from Game Jam. So there you go. What do you guys reckon? What's your favorite one? Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one.